BassResinator here. I've got these really cool heart coaster molds that have geometric diamond cuts on the sides. This is the first time I'm going to be able to use them, and I pulled them out of the box that came in when I ordered them, and I'm really not happy. This one, the plastic wrapper that this was in left a crease along there. This one is okay. This one has a big old crease and it's warped. I don't know if you can see that going up and down. This one is also warped. It doesn't have any very big marks. So whatever the case, I'm going to have to do a top coat on these. And look at this one. It is completely warped. Very unsatisfied. I thought, cool, five coasters, that would be cool. Anyway, I'm not going to deal with my frustration with that case of these. They're very cheap molds anyway. So I'm not going to tell you where I got them, but I will say that I ordered them from a company here in the United States, but I don't know if these originated in the United States. Looking from the shapes of them, I don't think they are. So this mold over here, I can't even use it unless I were to use some sticky double-sided tape and stick it down. I might try something like that. Anyway, what I want to do is I mixed up some resin, some art resin, magic resin, the art style. I mixed in some peach red resin dye. I don't want to fill these up. I want to put down about half full and then let that cure up. And then I have never done the soap bubble thing, where you put soap bubbles down on top of cured resin, and actually you have your cured resin down, you put a little bit of ultraviolet resin down and put soap bubbles on them, and then cure it with, and the soap bubbles leave all these little pits and stuff in there, kind of cool looking. And then you clean off all the soap and stuff, dry it all off, and then come back in with some type of colorant. Well, since I've already got pink hearts, peach red, but it looks like a dark pink. You'll see it in just a second. I've already mixed it up. It's sitting over here to the side. And then come back in with some chameleon colors. Whether I use mica or flakes, I'm not sure yet. But then back that with black. And this pink, I'm thinking, I'm hoping will turn to a crimson red with pattern. Think so? I hope so. That's my desire. Okay, there's a whole bunch of bubbles from mixing this, and I even mixed it slowly, so I'm gonna pop those with my little torch. I mixed up 8 ounces. See, now that's a pretty pink. But I think backing it with black behind chameleon powder or chameleon flakes, I think will cause that to turn a really dark red. And then have some really... I heard somebody say, that's really unique. And then I had this friend of mine who was a logician, logic. He says, are there degrees to uniqueness? And I thought, no, if it's unique, it's unique. Unique by definition means one of a kind. So I would say these are going to be really unique. They're but they're not going to be really unique because there are going to be 4 of them. And I don't think they are all going to be exactly the same. You know, I have this mold that I made with coral. Let's see if I put some in there, because I've got that I think this would be a pretty color for what I have in mind. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I have in mind because it hasn't come to fruition. But when I do get to do that, and I have just a little bit left, I have another little mold over here that I made with that silicone putty of a druzy pendant type thing. And I think I'm still going to have some left over. We'll see what this thing can do. It's just going to sit in the middle. Maybe if I put a book or something on it, it'll hold it in place. I don't know. I don't have much hope for this guy over here. Okay, move that. Somehow, somewhere out there, neath the pale moonlight. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I'm not even going to mess with it, other than I'll just have a little bit of cool looking resin that's half a heart. Half a heart. Half a heart, please. Okay, I've got some bubbles I'm going to pop on here. Using my long-handled lighter. But I'll come back to you when this is all cured up. Okay. These have cured up enough, so I'm using UV resin. This is the one from Resin Rockers. I've already filled up those 3, and I'm going to do slipped out of my hand. Woo. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a bit as it moves into or levels itself out. And if it has a bubble, it doesn't really matter. And I've got a glass over here with, I I didn't have Dawn. It seems like everybody that does this uses Dawn dish soap. Well, I have Palmolive. And don't judge. This is the only straw I could find. It's got one of these amusement park a deer on the top. So I'm going to go over here and blow some bubbles. I want to splash it. Oh, that's just great. It's not coming off the spoon. Okay, let me go find something else. I don't have to worry about this curing. Everybody always uses a plastic spoon. I couldn't find one, so let me figure out what I'm doing here. Just a second. Okay, these bubbles are going down awfully fast. I put them into a bigger container. See, they start popping really fast. I did it on that little blue thing over to the side. I may do one at a time. Get off the spoon. It is so crazy. I've seen other people do it with not a problem, and I'm sitting here dripping everywhere. Okay, I'm going to put this over underneath a lamp while I get these others going. just went off on those over there. Okay, so you see what I'm doing. I'm going to do the rest off the camera. So I'll get back to you soon. Okay, those have all cured in place. See if I can get any of the excess water and such off. Said that one I never went over there. This one has a bunch of water on it. Well, each one is similar, but each one is different. So they're not all exactly the same, which is going to lend to the cool technique. Isn't that some serious? Had some serious bubbles in there, sticking way up. Okay, let me try another paper towel. Make sure I got them all dried off. That's not bringing back any. All of these, with the heat of they all warped a little bit. That's interesting. It definitely has some texture. And that little guy over there, I think, since there's not much room on him, I'll just do some black UV resin on him. The rest I will I'll use regular epoxy resin on him. I'm getting out my chameleon colors. One of these is a cherry. There it is, black cherry. It's got a reddish hue to it. From where I'm standing, it looked brown. I'm wondering if I should do the whole surface or just where it's textured. Almost looks like a moonscape. See, because it's not sticking on that area very well where there's no texture. I think I'm just going to go over the spots and brush over the other, and if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. But here's where I want it. It's got a druzy thing on one side and bubbly on the other side. Okay, dusting is done. Set this aside. Now I'm really wanting to do, I don't have any resin mixed up, so I'm going to do this black UV resin on the top of this little guy. Counterculture DIY black UV resin. And I'll set this one under the lamp. And just let it go. Okay, I'll come back to you when I mix up the rest of the black resin. Have my black epoxy resin mixed up. I used iCandy's Kokuyo black paste. But look at that test subject. It's not quite a crimson, but it does have a very dark red appearance. So cool. Now, had a few bubbles on it. Of course, I don't think that's really going to matter if we have bubbles on the back of bubbles. Now, I mixed up 4 ounces here. Don't know if that's enough. We'll find out. And all of these molds warped under that heat of the UV lamp. You know, I need to mix up just a bit more. Okay, anyway, you see what I'm doing? You saw the result, how it looks kind of a burgundy almost. But yeah, so I'll come back to you when these all cured up. Okay, these are cured up. Look at this. Because this is lopsided, I've got an overpour on this. I did that half a heart, and I didn't do bubbles on it. I did the watermark effect, and I used flakes, chameleon flakes. So that's giving me a little bit of hope on this. So if somebody's not doing things all the way, they're doing it half-hearted. You got a half a heart. Okay, let's start with this one back here. And I just saw a little bit of color, and it's giving me hope. Oh, look at that. And depending on which way you look, it'll have a little bit of cherry in there. So the pink that was there originally is just gone. It's crazy. I'm gonna have to get a different type of bubble maker though, because those bubbles are inconsistent. That's fascinating. Looks like a moon heart. And that was the one that had the deep texture. Okay, and now the one with the overflow. Now that one's got the majority of the heart covered, but if you look at it this way, you see that color? That pink that was there, what is going on there? Oh, I bet that's that soap that I didn't get cleaned off. Gross. Okay. This is also one of those ones that has that crack from the mold. This one has that crack. That one has a little bit of one. So top coat it is, but these are really pretty. This is a different color chameleon flake, but that chameleon powder with the black cherry, really cool looking. Okay, thank you to my subscribers. I will post some pictures, and we'll see you next round. If you're not a subscriber, you should be.